I would say that the most important thing that anybody has to do, man or woman, but I think you're right, men in the past have been conditioned to associate more of their worth to what they do, and women have over time more to their relationships. And I think it may even go beyond conditioning. The biochemistry is obviously very different. Every man and every woman has both male and female energy in them, so does every woman. But most people have a tendency to have one that's stronger. And so the answer to that is you have to become a creator instead of just a hunter. If you're a hunter and you get what you want, rarely are you happy anyway. That's what most men do. And what I think you have to do instead is attract what you want. And the way you attract what you want is not just thinking positively or thinking good thoughts. It's getting really specific about what it is you want, like anything in life. Almost anything you've ever achieved in your life, you got really clear. Something you got excited about, you got obsessed by, you thought about it. Almost everybody can relate to something I wanted so bad I couldn't stop thinking about it. And because you kept thinking about it, and if you didn't come to a place of fear, you hear things, you notice things, you started making distinctions, ideas came to you, put together a plan, you took some action, something didn't work, you tried something else. But you eventually got there because you were so driven, so hungry, and so clear. But if you got a general goal, like I want to have a relationship so that I can be worthwhile, or I want to lose some weight, I want to make some money, well fine, here's $1, fine, here's a guy, fine, lose a pound, and you just achieved your goal. So I think people have to get really specific. And what I did in my own life that transformed my own life was I sat down and I wrote down everything I could possibly want in a relationship. Everything. And I was ridiculous in the level of precision. I wrote like 6 pages. And I wrote spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, sense of humor, how we'd interact, what kind of things we'd laugh about, do. I mean, that level of insanity. Right. And then, but some people have made lists like that before. Then I went through and I crossed out everything that wasn't really a must. That wasn't really I was passionate about, right? And I trimmed the list down. Then I said, I'm going to read this every day. I'm going to feed my mind, but I got to understand something. Just because I want something, I'm not a believer. I didn't participate in The Secret for a very good reason, because I don't believe in The Secret. I think there's many secrets. And I believe the law of attraction is one of them. I've taught it for years, but it isn't. To make it like that's all of life is absurd. If all you have to do is think positively and hold it clearly, and then the secret is you'll attract your own thoughts, there are dozens and dozens of the laws in life that are also equally important. And who's to say that you're supposed to think of something and get it if everything you thought about you got, you'd be bored out of your mind. Plus, not getting what you want is sometimes the most valuable thing that could ever happen to you. Because out of that, you become deeper, richer, stronger. You open up in a different level, and now you have more to give to other people as well as to give to yourself. Somebody who says, I had a friend that was, I was mentioning this the other day, who when The Secret first came out, and he's a good friend of mine, he goes, some of the stuff you teach is more complex. This is so simple. That's what I like. It's really simple. I said, well, if you want simple, just go do it. Tell me how it's working. He's why I focused on green lights all the way here, and I got green lights all the way here. And I said, what are you going to do when you get red lights? You going to blame yourself? You think I'm not thinking positively enough? I said, you're going to say, oh, I'm messed up? And I said, that's just stupid. I said, you know what it is? It's like, are you saying the people that were in Auschwitz were there because they just weren't thinking positive enough and they attracted all this negativity to their life? That's absurd. We all have different life paths and different stages of our path, and each stage opens up different possibilities for us. So I'm a big believer that you have to put yourself in a position where you decide not only what you want, but who do you have to become to attract that, not just think positive. So it's like, I made a list of all the things that, what kind of man would I have to be for a woman of that caliber to want to be with me, not just for a day, a week, a month, or a year, but the rest of my life. And that was the powerful list. And that's what I went to work on instead of going after the woman. Because, man chases women, women move. I was always the nice guy, so all the women loved me, and I was a big pleaser, and they'd love me for a while, and they'd be like, he's just so nice, and then some badass guy would get him, right? But when I owned myself, I didn't have to be a badass guy, and I wasn't a nice guy. Everyone wants to be pleased, but no one wants a pleaser, right? They might think they want it, but once they get him, they'll be bored silly with him. So when I owned myself, and I knew who I was as a man, and I had these qualities, then, attracting the woman of my dreams was my wife for 12 years now since, and I'm out of my mind for still, she's out of mind for me. That came about. So then all I did was read those every day for several months, and then gradually I started reading them like once every week or two. And I was in a train between, going to the Swiss Alps between Paris and Venice with my wife Sage, who was my girlfriend at the time, or actually one of my girlfriends at the time. And I was a very honest man about that. I said, I'm not looking to be tied down. I've been in that situation. And we were doing things, we were so in sync, and I said, wait a second. And I said, and I pulled out, I used to, have like a little time planner in those days, and I read it to her, and everything on the list I wanted she was, everything I didn't want. I had a list of what I didn't want also, I should mention that, because sometimes you get everything you want, and then you get a few things you don't want, and they mess up everything else. Everything I want, everything I didn't want that was a must. And she was everything on it. The kind of guy that I said that I would commit to being is who I was, and that's everything she wanted.